Have you ever felt like you're just reacting to life instead of actively shaping it? Well, I made one decision that shifted everything for me. Today, I'm going to be sharing that pivotal moment with you. Picture this. A few years ago, I was in a corporate 9 to 5 job. I just left school, left college, and I was sat in a cold, grey office room in my hometown, wondering if this was going to be the rest of my life, and looking around at others that were in the same job 40 years ahead of me and were still not enjoying the day-to-day life of an office work 9 to 5. Of course, there were perks of that job, steady salary, and you had people around you that you could get along with. But the direction that I was going in, it was clear that I didn't want to be where others were 40 years ahead of me. I was watching the time constantly. I was looking around wondering if this was it, if this was going to be life for the next 40 years. But I got myself in this position because my belief was that I was reacting to life and I was taking the decision that was most obvious when presented in front of me. So I went from school into college and then from college into a local job at a local housing association because it was almost expected of me to start applying for jobs and find these different roles. But because I was just reacting to the easiest option that came in front of me at the time, I ended up just taking somebody else's path that others were expecting of me. And I got myself into a position that I wasn't really proud of. And I went along like this for a couple of years, actually. I was sort of just getting on and getting by with this type of work and this type of life. But there was something that shifted. And if you can find yourself thinking in the same ways that I was thinking when I was in that job, wanting for more, thinking there's more out there, thinking that I had more potential than what I was actually fulfilling, then I'll share with you the small and simple decision that I made to my beliefs that changed everything in my life. If you're new to the channel, my name is James Eardley. I run multiple e-commerce businesses that have done over £1 million in revenue in the last few years. I also coach people now and make these weekly YouTube videos. So stick around if you like this type of content, subscribe and like, and now we'll go into that decision that I made. First of all, we need to set up the scene and work out the few beliefs that I've got now that I didn't used to have. So something I firmly believe in now is that you can empower yourself or you can decide to give power to others. And that all comes down to the beliefs that you have. And ultimately, I believe that that empowerment that you give to yourself is a choice. And it's a choice that you can make. You can watch this video today with full attention and make one simple choice after watching this video that can change everything. I believe you've got that power and you can give yourself all the power instead of giving it to external circumstances if you make a single choice and a decision that we'll go through today. Secondly, I believe that freedom comes through personal responsibility. So taking accountability for things in your life and not just reacting to things that you believe are happening to you. Now, I've had some difficult things to go through, but what I've tried to realize is that if I want to really take control of that situation, if I want to have freedom, if I want to achieve things that I want to achieve, if I want my life to be the way I want it to be, you can only have that freedom if you take personal responsibility for your reactions to certain things in life. Obviously, things are going to happen to you that you can't control, but what you can control is your reaction to those difficult things. I think as soon as you take personal responsibility for your responses, then suddenly you have all the power and you've got the freedom to act how you want to act. And thirdly, I believe that we grow by design. And it's only if you take control of where you want to be in life and where you want to grow to. If you don't take control, somebody else will take control of you for you. And instead of living your dreams, you'll help towards somebody else's dreams. So the single decision that I made was taking full responsibility for where I was going to go in life. I realized that it's all down to me. Nobody else was going to create an amazing life for me. It was all down to me. I had to give myself that power, give myself that freedom from anything else, any external circumstances, to realize that if I wanted to get to where I wanted to get to, then that was all in my control. Then I decided that commitment was going to be the way that I'd get to where I want to be. So once I'd made that decision, I then committed to that, decided that that was how I was going to see life from now on. And then with consistent action every single day, that's how I believe we can build freedom and build the success that we're looking for. So once you understand or you believe that your results and your achievements will come from your own actions, then I believe that gives you a lot more power and it gives you a lot more motivation to take those actions day by day. So when we say about taking consistent action for a long period of time to get to the goals you want to get to, that becomes inevitable because you know that it's all down to you and there's not something else that's going to come in to save you. So I know this was a really difficult decision for me to make at the time because what it meant was that Instead of having to look outwards and blame others for not being in the position I was in, you have to take a difficult decision, a difficult belief which hurts initially, to decide that it's all up to me. So if you're going to give yourself the credit for achieving success, you also need to look at yourself hard in the mirror if you're not achieving the success you want to achieve. But we go through that difficult short-term pain of looking at yourself and feeling responsible for not being where you want to be for the long-term gain. So you need to be able, and in today's day and age, it's more difficult to do this, to go through the short-term pain of accepting that you've not got yourself to where you want to be at the moment for the long-term benefits of having an incredible life. So it's difficult in the short term. That's why this advice is not very popular, but it makes such a big difference with people's lives over the long term once you go through the initial short-term pain. So the impact that this decision made on my life has been huge. As soon as I made this decision, it gave me purpose, it gave me direction in life. It made me realize every day when I woke up that the actions I took that day was going to actively benefit me for years to come. Before, I thought whatever I did that day, it was already predetermined in a way, or I knew that I had to do what others wanted of me to do. And by doing that, eventually they would give me promotions or they would show me which job is next to get. But by switching it, it was so much easier to feel motivated at the start of every day, because I know, okay, if I work on this role, work as hard as I can in the job I was at the moment, and then I read a book or I start a business on the side, I know that those actions are actively going to get me to where I want to be. And it's up to me what actions I take and ultimately where I get to in life. So that story of me with my head in my hands in an office, feeling bored, feeling resentful, feeling like I didn't want to go where I was heading, has completely changed now, where I can be in control of my time. I work from anywhere in the world and I make more money from my laptop, from my online businesses than I've ever made from working in a 9-to-5 job. And the switch is completely different. Not only do I have more income, I have more freedom over how I make that money as well. Also, it means I can engage with a community of people that are like-minded to me. And through this YouTube channel, I'm able to get around people that are like me and like-minded. And that is so beneficial for me compared to who I was around when I was in that office job. And the difference it's made to my life and my happiness and my fulfillment is just incredible. That's why I try and get this message across in these videos. So to implement this decision, it starts with daily habits and simple actions that you can decide to take because you now know that you're in control of your outcomes. So the sort of things that you can do every day now to get this habit committed so you do it every day would be morning meditation and visualization. It only needs to take 5 minutes, less than that when you first start. But what I do at the start of every morning, I'll just take some breaths where I'm conscious of my breath, which is meditation. And I'll just count to 10 or 20, and especially when you're first starting, if you just count to 10 and just focusing on your breathing and let all thoughts leave your mind, then that will get you in a perfect place to start the day. After that, visualization is something that I firmly believe in every morning as well. So reconnect with what it is you want to be. Who is it you want to be in the future? How do you want your life to look? And visualize that in 15 years' time, in 5 years' time, and in 1 year time. Think about how you want to be going through life. And then exercise, of course, is always key. So some form of exercise every day, whether that's just a walk or perhaps you go to the gym, but something that pushes you is going to be ultimately better for your mental health and your overall success in the future. Something else to implement is getting around communities, getting around people that think the same way as you. That's going to continually reinforce this message that you have power to choose how you want to be in your life. And this is going to be empowering, difficult in the short term, but for the long term, it's really going to help you out. And I really want to help you guys out that are watching the video today. So think about how you can get around other people that are thinking in the same way, find communities, find support, find YouTube channels, find podcasts that make sure that this is reminded for you. And whatever you feed to your brain is ultimately what you'll get out as well. So it's like the way we eat. They say you are what you eat. So if you feed yourself food that's junk food, then that's how you'll feel. It's the same way with the information that we feed our brains. If you feed yourself with poor information and poor beliefs and poor thoughts, then that's what's going to come out of your brain as well. And the final thing to really implement this is to set your long-term goals. So when you visualize every morning, you need to know exactly where you want to be. So take some time to think about where is it you want to be in 15 years. The amount that you can achieve in 15 years is staggering. It's a long time if you really focus and do work towards something every single day. So allow yourself to dream, think about your long-term vision, and that every day we take one small step towards that. So to conclude, it's your turn to decide. How do you want your life to be in the future? Do you want things to happen to you, or do you want things to happen for you? And the difference is all in your mind. It's all the way that you see the world. So you have a choice. The way you believe to perceive the world will make a huge difference on your output. I believe the way that you should set up your belief systems and your values in your life should serve you. So although they're difficult sometimes to swallow, if you have the choice over how you see the world, you may as well decide to see the world in a way that empowers you to get towards your goals. I'd hate to see the world and decide to see the world in a way that takes power away from me. And I believe that you have that choice. The way you respond to things, the way you decide to see the world is ultimately your choice. And that makes a huge difference over the long term. So thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Remember, take simple action every day to really commit this decision to memory. I believe the power to change really is in your hands. So are you going to take that daily action to really commit this to memory and to make that decision today? I'll see you in the next video, which you can see on the screen at the moment. So if you want to continue this journey towards building your own freedom in life, then watch that video that's on screen and I'll catch you in the next video.